This is the JBL Eon One Compact personal PA system, personal PA speaker. I've been using this as a monitor speaker for DJing in bars, and I'm going to use it in a week or two at a festival on the stage as my personal monitor speaker. But these could equally be used at home. Buy a pair of these and use them as your home speakers for your DJ practice. If you've got a nice big room where you can turn them up loud, it'll feel a lot more like a club on speakers like these than it would with studio monitors. With the added advantage, you could then take them out into your living room or your patio or your barbecue or whatever, and you could use them as party speakers without any fear of damaging them or anything, which you wouldn't want to do with studio monitors. So they could fit two roles there. They could also take one of these down to the beach because it's got Bluetooth, it's got a built-in battery that we're about to see, and it's loud. It's like 112 decibels, so it's a nice loud speaker. If you've seen the sound box type speakers, well, this is the JBL kind of equivalent. But all those things taken into account, what you're getting if you buy one or two of these is something that's quite flexible. So we're going to talk about exactly what it does, what its features are, the pluses and minuses, what it sounds like, and all of that stuff right now. But it's all from the point of view of DJs. These get used by singer-songwriters, they get used in churches and stuff like that, fitness studios, but we're going to talk about it from the DJing point of view. Let's take a closer look at the speaker then. So it's got the grille on the front with the speakers behind there nice and safely. It sounds full range, it sounds nice, it sounds crisp and immediate and in your face. Certainly indoors you don't get any of that harshness you do get with some PA speakers. So it does have that ability to use in a enclosed environment just as a day-to-day speaker for DJ practice or even just listening, as well as throwing the music a lot further when you've got it set up, especially if you've got them on the poles, because there's a pole mount at the bottom, so you could buy some poles for it and have a pair of these as a very, very small DJ system for sure. So that's the front. Then round the side, well, this side here, I'm going to talk to you in a second about a way we can have this speaker set up, but we'll get back to that. For now, let's go around the back. Here is where the battery is, you see. So the battery fits in here, and you can recharge the battery when it's in the unit, or you could even buy a second battery and just hot swap them. They say up to 12 hours of battery life. You won't get anywhere near that at full volume, but 2.5 hours to recharge it from scratch. So let's look at the side here where the mixer is, because this is a mixer as well as a speaker and amplifier. Right, so the mixer is quite clever, and this is where you're going to be doing a lot of the stuff with the speaker when you're using it in all the different areas of your life that I just talked about. Let's talk about the inputs and then the controls around here. So input wise, we have a microphone input at the top, which has got phantom power, and we have a microphone input underneath, which is the same, except it doesn't have the phantom power. So any condenser microphones you're going to plug in up here. We have a line input, which is right down here at the bottom, an auxiliary line input, which is where you'll plug in your DJ gear. It's got an 1/8" socket for plugging in a stereo lead directly from your DJ gear. It's also got Bluetooth. By holding down this button here, you can pair with Bluetooth, which is why this is a useful speaker to use on beach or anything like that. Now this final, or rather the final one I'm talking about, but the third one is a guitar input. So this is especially for plugging a guitar in, which isn't obviously much use to us DJs. So they're all the inputs you've got there. The way the mixer works to control the inputs is pretty clever. So let's talk about that. So the idea is that you use this channel select button here to choose the channel you want to adjust at any given point. So for instance, if we were DJing and we were on the 4th channel here, we'd flip down to the 4th channel there, and then everything comes into play. So on the 4th channel here, we can adjust the volume of the individual channel. So these are just rotary encoders that just go around forever, but we have the bass and treble there, and we also have this channel volume control here. And so this channel volume control is independent of the master volume at the top. The master volume adjusts everything. The channel volume is just for this channel. And then if we switch to another channel, the controls, because they've got these rings around them and because they're endless encoders, will switch to whatever you've got that set to. So no need for soft takeover for you DJs who know what that is. There's no need for that here because it remembers where you were. These buttons will do various things depending on what you're set to. So for instance, if you're set to the microphone at the top, you can choose whether that's a mic or a line input. So you could put your DJ gear on the line inputs if you wanted up here rather than down here on the 1/8" jack. And you've also got your phantom power for that first microphone only, and your ducking for the microphone channels, which lets you make sure that when you speak, everything else goes quieter. But when you're down on some of the other settings, some of these settings aren't in action. So they do depend on what you're set to. This is your battery indicator, and when you're plugged in, this just kind of like cycles to show you how much battery you've got left. One thing I like about this, which I'm going to show you now, is if you set it on its side like this, See the way those controls suddenly moved? So now the volume, when you're all the way down on the volume, it kind of starts from there and goes to there. But when you put it, so I'm about halfway on the volume now, but when I put it up this way, they switch. See that? Which is quite nice. So it knows which way's up, basically. Just a nice little touch that I noticed there. However, more usefully, I was talking about this, when you have it down like this, you've now got a wedge monitor. You can put this on the floor like this, pointing up at you, and it's a really nice way, as I said, of having a personal DJ monitor, which is exactly how I've been using this as a personal DJ monitor. It's so easy to pick up and carry. You just charge the battery, throw it into a bag, plug it into your live mixer, and you've got a personal monitor of what you're doing. So I've done it in a bar where I'm on the stage and the PA speakers are a little bit out. It's just nice to have your own monitor on the stage. I could do without it there, but in a week or so I'm playing at a festival of about 1,000 people where I'm on a bigger stage and the speakers are further away from me. I'm definitely going to want something like this, and taking a smaller speaker would be a bit silly because it's going to be very loud there. So this is kind of a nice one to take for pretty much any circumstance when you might want a personal monitor speaker. So it's got other bits and pieces as well which aren't massively useful to DJs, but we'll talk through them. So at the top here, it's got this kind of indentation here, and this is where you can balance an iPad or a phone. You can actually balance it so it's like that or like that, and if you want to do that, there's an app which will let you do some extra stuff with this. So for instance, on the Bluetooth input, you can send it off to 4 of these and stuff like that, but not very useful for DJs because we would never use Bluetooth under any circumstances in our DJing and stuff. You can access some effects and stuff in there. Again, more useful to singer-songwriters because ultimately your effects are going to be in your DJ gear, and you're just going to use this to kind of amplify and get everything out to the world, or out to you if you're DJing with it as a personal monitor. That said, it does have a couple of USB-A sockets here, a 2 amp and a 1 amp. So you could use these, well, you can use these to charge your device, and if so, you could perch your device in the top there while it's charging. Just a thought. So again, let's run over what they might be useful for. A couple of these at home if you want to have something a bit more beefy than studio monitors that you can also then take out to use in your barbecues or pool parties or in your living room or anywhere else where you just want to have a little party with a few people. Buy a couple of poles to put them on, and you've got a very small DJ PA system, maybe for doing wedding receptions and small events where you know you've got 20, 30, 40 people. They would work for that, although you're not going to get much more than that out of a couple of speakers this kind of size. And just taking one with you as a monitor speaker, or using it just as a Bluetooth speaker. And I've used it as that as well because it is more fun than smaller Bluetooth speakers. And of course, the line in socket on the side doesn't have any latency, and most Bluetooth speakers, most consumer ones do, which means you can't use them for DJing at all anyway. I really like this. It's well made. There's not really an awful lot that I can criticize for it. The battery charges nice and quickly. It lasts a while, certainly long enough for most DJ sets. And the only thing really I would like to have seen is a separation between the Bluetooth channel and the single stereo line in channel, because they're both on channel 4 at the moment. Just so let's say your DJ gear crashes, you could have the Bluetooth all set up and ready to go rather than having to hold it and switch it over, losing a few seconds there. It's just a small thing. And you will have to buy the correct leads to plug it in to your DJ gear depending on where you choose to plug it in channel wise, because you might need one of these, which is, they're not the most professional leads that you can get for this kind of thing, right? Because this is presumably the one you have in the back of your DJ controller, and you're going to need one with this on the other end of it to plug into the unit, which again, you know, so this isn't the most professional way to set stuff up, but you know, at the end of the day, this is a cheap one. Buy a high quality RCA to 1/8 inch lead and you'll probably be fine. This is the JBL Eon One Compact. As I say, I've been using it. I like it. It sounds nice. It goes as loud as they say it goes. The battery is useful. The design is good. And I do like some of the little touches, like the rotary controllers that are endless, so it remembers where you have stuff set. And for some mad reason, I just really like the way it switches with a built-in gyroscope, so it knows which way is up. So those are going to all look right where you've got the speaker horizontally or vertically. Little things. If you want to read more about this, we've got the full spec and review and prices and links and all that stuff over on the Digital DJ Tips website. But for now, this is Phil with the JBL Professional Eon One Compact, the Digital DJ Tips review for DJs. Get good, get out there, make the moments, people. I'll see you again very soon. Bye for now.